To be honest, I can stand here today and I can give a few points that are contrary, a few points that explain perhaps what we're going through and how it was totally predictable, most of it, and maybe avoidable. But I'm not going to do that. I've chosen not to speak about the economy and the reforms or to even explain anything because if I explain it would help this government, and I don't want to help the government. I don't want to help this government. You know, they're my friends. If they don't behave like friends, I don't behave like a friend. So I watch them being stewed, and they don't even have people with credibility who can come and explain what they're doing. But I'm not going to help. I started out helping, but I'm not going to help. I'm not going to discuss it. Let them come and explain to Nigerians why the policies that are being pursued are being pursued. And meanwhile, I'm watching a very nice movie with popcorn in my hands. I'm watching them stew. But I will say one thing. What we are going through today is at least in part, not totally, at least in part, a necessary consequence of decades of irresponsible economic management.
On a good day, I want to take people like this serious, but I don't know what to talk about. I don't take people like this, like Sanusi, serious. It's not important. Since when the Tosan come out for Palace the first time, now I thought, I just saying they get more power self. I don't know, say, nah, me and him dey the same level. He just dey dress like masquerade. Another reason why I don't take him serious is now Lagos in they talk of this thing now, and plus I don't know why people they I don't even know. Well, all this one are distraction. I should say. I think that's the best way to explain it because it's a go every government, you know. They just I think a distraction they need, right? They need distraction. Um, because at the end of it all, it said what the country is going through has been decades in the making. So what the fuck? You're part and parcel of the problem with that now. But as I said, I know they take us serious. It's not of no use. Now Konkoso na be godfather. Konkoso best for her now. It go keep quiet. When Buhari dey power, where no be they pursue and go no man's land. Nasarawa. Ah, but again, I get it. I get them. Not have to be make. Hero fights on the move. They are twins, politically speaking. Yeah, Hero fight are not different. At the same, at the same driver, they drive them. Ladies and gentlemen, Mona, welcome to Honor Politics. As I said, I don't know what to talk about. If you are here, can you hear me? Give me something to talk about. So I just say, since the federal government is federal government need something to distract them. They had to respond swiftly. So I said, well, shit, let's go there and let's talk about. I don't even know where him is not important. The question is what he was talking about. It make no sense. I don't know. But there's a lot of fight going on in the National Assembly between Senator Jibril and Ninge. Those are two. I like Bola Tinubu team. Okay. Well, I like the guy. I like the way he operates. I like him guys. I like the way him guys they operate for Senate and National Assembly. They know what they are doing. So I surprised they come. Oh. This motherfucker, excuse my Yoruba, this Jimo Ibrahim of a guy. No, they don't. I think he wanted to run for president at one point. Then what he really wants is Ondo State. Get and Congo Senate. I was surprised because the guy na believe na IAF pikin. As I keep saying IAF, 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 and International Athletic Federation, blah blah of those days. IMF. I mean, now still the Western neocon, and the neocon Chihuahua, one of the Chihuahuas, 9BG, Jimo Ibrahim. So now they assigned to now they assigned to Ninge. It was the one that pretty much got Nige suspended. Now they attack him again. From how you be speaking for the minister, that alone tell you what is going on. But I get it, men at work. Um, so Sanusi is a running mouth. Now Lagos in there they speak, so that that says it all. That's everything you want needs to know. You cannot come to the president house, come to where royal institution, just like the one we occupy. They take and play, begin royal mouth, and it is a. But I like the way he spoke. He just literally, I think in a way, he's speaking for the government. If you ask me, because he end up by saying whatever that we are going through has been decades in the making. So, and politically speaking, I know the government and I mean and them and him, no, they on the same side in terms of the legal battle that is going through as it regards to the rightful occupant of that throne, either him or Ado Bayero. And we know what the chairman of APC, which is the right hand man, cat. Oh my God. Anytime I just look at a little bit, take a look at the future, politically speaking, what is to come. I just can't wait. We are, we are, we are in interesting time ahead of us. That's the only way I can put it. I don't know whether I good or bad because just from what is going on right now, so you can tell the Kano alone, that fight of trial of that now they don't succeed. They succeeded in pretty much destroying, politically speaking, destroying Shekara. Shekara is Shekara is out of the picture. Uh, Ganguje is still hanging on, still there. I mean, with the power of the presidency, he still get him out, but to some extent. Now, Konkoso wants to be president. Now, he be the leader now. Now, the run things. Erufai wants to be president. Sanusi and Erufai partner in crime. But now, Konkoso make Sanusi dream come true. So, how, what is going to happen? What is going to happen going forward? I think I think that angle I'm going to pay more attention to because that's a very interesting dynamic. How they go to work against. Wow. Because Kwankwaso wants to be president, Erufai wants to be president. They all believe they have equal chance. So how is it going to work? Now we have Sanusi, as I said, even though you don't get power, as well, they use an chase like this. They pick out anytime they want time. If they want time here, they kind of put. They want time, they kind of depends on where the power swing. So he owes his loyalty, his everything to Kwankwaso because the fear, the hyenas, the lion will eat am raw. Now they are still in power at the federal level, so you can't afford to mess up, fuck around Konkoso. If you fail to be loyal to him, you're out of that place, just like that. Thanks to his boy as governor of Kano. So is going forward that state alone. I don't know because so where who Sanusi wants support? Ruhai or Konkoso is Godfather, literally Godfather. You see the Paris says be Emir. That's okay. We'll see how that ends. So, but now let's say they will work together. How they all work together? If they are going to work together, who is going to be the head? Of course, Konkoso have more leverage. Other than the fact that politically speaking, he get power. Well, I wouldn't go say he get power fast now because the relationship between the Sani, the current governor of Kaduna, and Nerufai is not known yet, even though they open as you say uh, there's some relief or because the Sani, the current governor, is pretty much he has to be loyal to the president in order for him to have a leeway or even get a second chance to come back. So what's going to happen? Now, when there's a conspiracy to take Atiku out from PDP, so all of them can converge, then they will rescue themselves out. Let's say that will happen at the end of the day, they get Atiku out from PDP. Konkoso is back. Erofa is back. Wike is there. Now let's leave Wike aside first. Let's put it on the this another angle because now then they have to now only one person go feel emerge as a candidate any of the parties. So they don't I don't know how they will do themselves, right? I don't see any of them having a war chest like Tunubu in terms of money where you go to buy everybody out or just choke everybody among them. Just like the way Tunubu do during the primaries. So what's going to happen? Are they going to succeed in giving? I think they will give Wike the ticket. Oh, this now that I think about it, because I don't see Obi falling for that kind of cheap game. Cheap game in the sense that they want him back. Let's say he also back in PDP, and they promise to give him the ticket. You know, go win, they go work against that. Life, me know that one because that will give them an avenue to bring to future to hold the two tickets between APC and PDP come 2031. So the fee give are going to give a big ticket. Now, if they are successful in keep article out, but that's why I say I know they will be no go fall for that money. I can have 6 million people. I mean, you should have the I say. I don't think he will go for that shit. Now, then feel the fee can't give out to Wiki. I never thought about that. They fit give the ticket to Wike to just to run for 2013. Of course, Wike is not going to win it. I mean, I think Tinubu even prefer that sef. That's a win-win for am. Easy. So Sanusi coming out to be to the running mouth. I don't think there's nothing. He didn't say anything as far as I'm concerned. But most importantly, I know the federal government. I mean the Tinubu gangs. They are smarter than they know that the guy no carry any weight, and that is not even literally, it's not even. no be saying I don't. He hasn't said anything about the whatever self. Because if you follow the speech from the beginning to the end, or play it again from the beginning to the end, you just understand that it's just one. It's a distraction in a way. But again, there's a political undertone there.
To be honest, I can stand here today and I can give a few points that are contrary, a few points that explain perhaps what we're going through and how it was totally predictable, most of it, and maybe avoidable. But I'm not going to do that. I've chosen not to speak about the economy and the reforms or to even explain anything because if I explain it will help this government and I don't want to help the government. I don't want to help this government. You know, they're my friends. If they don't behave like friends, I don't behave like a friend. So I watch them being stewed, and they don't even have people with credibility who can come and explain what they're doing. But I'm not going to help. I started out helping, but I'm not going to help. I'm not going to discuss it. Let them come and explain to Nigerians why the policies that are being pursued are being pursued. And meanwhile, I'm watching a very nice movie with popcorn in my hands. I'm watching them stew. But I will say one thing. What we're going through today is at least in part, not totally, at least in part, a necessary consequence of decades of irresponsible economic management.
Now, when I talk to the guy, he not just he not talk anything other than to just waste up all our time. He started by saying that he go tell us what we will go through and why we could have avoided it. So okay, we don't know what we will go through, but how does that even help at this point? That by the side, as I say, he no talk anything. Second, he say he no go advise. It's not go advise. Who in advise don't help? He was a prominent player in Goodluck Jonathan's administration. He could not advise that. In fact, he lost his firearm. His uncle, Buhari, was the president for the past 8 years. Oh, sorry, they no, he no go free advice because they shut him up. They said I'm going. They humiliate him, not just taking him out of the throne, but they banish him from the kingdom that he's supposed to be the king over. That's another one. Then he finished by saying that this problem that we are facing decades in the making. So what does that even mean? You've been in the system for that as long as you are talking about. But moreover, who don't know in the first place? So when I say no talk anything, and I just distraction, that's exactly what I mean. But there's a political order on it. Is there they talk all this while? You know if we talk all this while because his case is still in court. I think they just finished in case with the other Ado Bayero. Why in they talk now? Now because in Tinubu. That's another thing. Tinubu no go fit do it. My friend, let's start from there. But Tinubu no go fit do anything. But he has to speak now. I speak in that manner in support of his own in the mainframe, Erufai. But the only point I think he make, I don't know about a point or he take a cheap shot at the all these chihuahuas when they speak for the government that they don't even have qualified people to come and explain the policy to the people. When he say they don't even have qualified people, I was like, oh shit, where is this get man going with it? I thought they wanted to say qualified people who are even work as in the policy maker. What does it the take sure that the guys who are in CBN right now? But he was very smart and clever about that. I said they don't even qualify people who are good enough to explain the policy, and that's right. Yeah, I think he has a point there. But another thing, is he looking for a job? Not him now, but he go get mentees now. Go get mentors that will donate to the government. Because him as a person, maybe now he knows supposed to be running mouth. But as I said, now because he one na Tinubu, two na na Congo put on there. So and if he's one of the best. Police investments wey Kwankoso don make so far. As far as I'm concerned, since Kwankoso don leave government, na one of im best investments na im be Sanusi. I think that's na so I for even put am as head sef as I put am like that. Na Sanusi na Kwankoso investment. So he has to speak for Kwankoso. So he cannot be praising the government. I don't expect him to come out and start praising the government when Konkoso is not praising the government, when Erufai is not praising the government. So why ain't go they praise the government? But most importantly, mm, what's his name? Tinubu nine friends. So you understand, you know, go do anything. But of course, because you know how to read when somebody is actually taking a shot and what he mean by that. So you can find to be coming out and run his mouth like this. When boy did there, in fact, he could not even, he was fighting to survive. I think that the can leadership that fit all these guy people be had. So it's a distraction. As we speak, there is a battle going on over the 2025 budget. They no fit explain. I wish I can play that video. I don't feel laugh. They no fit explain the difference between national housing scheme and wetin be the Bola Tinubu motto again. Hope, renew hope, yeah, renew hope agenda housing. It's funny. Now, Senator Nenge, we all know Senator Nenge now, where they suspend him last year. Senator Nenge say come. He no understand that he's a senator, he's been a senator for almost 1.5 years. But he no say there is a project called Renew Hope Agenda Housing Scheme. I don't feel laugh. He say he no know. So for him not to know, that means the Nigerians don't know. Before he even finish that statement, the guy wey they assigned to am, making the keeper in check. I'm talking about now that person said that Senator Ibrahim from Ondo. Ondo shut am up, say come. For the fact that you no know, no mean say we no know. So there's something like that. But moreover, there's a 6 months additional time before the guy finish. Nine niggas shut and say, come. I'm not talking to you. I'm not asking you. The minister right there. Okay, minister go defend his own budget. I think exactly that's how I started. So when minister they defend him budget, the housing budget, then they ask nine niggas. So say, I'm not talking to you. Let the minister speak for himself. Nigeria you go know say okay, now plan work. They plan come the house. They know what they do. So now I think Nenge said the Nenge have his way a little bit. So now allow the minister to speak. Minister thought say well say they just appoint him. Ah, I don't be laugh. They just appoint him so he no know. You don't know there is National Housing Scheme and Renew Hope Agenda Housing Scheme. And all of them now say na for is it for 4 trillion? I mean na for 4 billion. I beg make I know mean kind the wrong figures. But they're all the same. And all of them they the same. One is right after the other. So the minister say he no know, say because they just appoint am, but make him director. Oh my God! Now that is what the nation should be paying attention to, not Sanusi. Not Sanusi. Sanusi did not say anything. He just want attention, and is given. So that is really what is. I don't feel laugh, but I'm not making this shit up. There's National Housing Scheme. Then there is Renew Hope Agenda Housing Scheme. But they no fit defend am. That's the problem. Nobody say there's anything wrong with that. But none of them could defend it. But Senator Jibril, who say I like the way Tinubu position is is supporting strikers. He dey play the game well like the way Buhari said do am. He pursue men. Anyone wey worries your ugly head, they time am down. Na wetin dem do Ninge today be that. Ninge is asking a very, very like no physical question that you can touch. Like you can literally touch, see wetin they talking, wetin they worry about, but shit, they shut am down. The last time when he tried that country, they give her 3 months. So this Sanusi of a guy, this is just pure distraction. There's nothing that he has said that makes sense, and he nobody say no make. He's not even trying to make sense. That's why I said it's a distraction. Who be you when you dey give advice? And who cares about your advice? Who your advice don't help in the first place? You've been in the system that you claim to be in this that led up to this bad shape for decades, which you've been solving. You've been in the system now. At every level, you are there. So the fact that well, I like those way they respond to themselves. No be, I think he was the minister of. I don't even know the all of a sudden we get minister of communication. I don't even know, and they respond to. But the fact that na Lagos, if I make that comment, that makes statement, says everything that I needed to know before I would take them serious.
To be honest, I can stand here today and I can give a few points that are contrary, a few points that explain perhaps what we're going through and how it was totally predictable, most of it, and maybe avoidable. But I'm not going to do that. I've chosen not to speak about the economy and the reforms or to even explain anything because if I explain it will help this government, and I don't want to help the government. I don't want to help this government. You know, they
Yeah,
are
I
my
joke.
friends. If they don't behave like
No,
friends,
you
I
know
don't
be
behave
joke.
like a
Now people
friend.
dey take us
So
seriously.
I watch them being stewed, and they don't even have people with credibility who can come and explain what they're doing.
Na
And
the
I'm not going
only
to
shot
help.
wey take. Na the
I
only point
started
wey
out
make
helping,
that.
but I'm not going to help. I'm not going to discuss it. Let them come and explain to Nigerians um, why the policies that are being pursued are being pursued. And meanwhile, I'm watching a very nice movie with popcorn in my hands. I'm watching them stew. But I will say one thing. What we are going through today is at least in part, not totally, at least in part, a necessary consequence of decades of irresponsible economic management.
Why don't you don't like at the heart of the economic management of those past decades that we're talking about? It was at the heart of the economic management for those decades that he was talking about. The federal government early morning on of Thursday told the Emir of Kano, His Highness Mohammed Sanusi II, that it does not need Sanusi, that it does not need his stamp of approval of what he described as laudable policy of the government. The government also told the emir, who was a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), to rise above personal interests and partisan undertone and prioritize the greater good of Nigeria. Hey, fuck off, self. Well, as I say, I love when they play. For just narrow it down to people of Kano or his Emirates. Now that one go hit on pass. Man, that just above Nigeria. Well, when the attack is as lousy as, so maybe this is a lousy response. So let's leave it at that. These admonition, among others, were contained in a statement issued by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, in reaction to the recent comments made by the first class monarch of the economic situation of the country. I know who knows we get Minister of Communication. Sir. What happened? The Emir at his 21st memorial lecture of Chief Ganifa Omi in Lagos. That's why I thought you are not taken serious. Everything about the whole thing says that this is just for attention, get and distraction. I think he's working. He was quoted by saying, I can give you a few points here about what we are going through and how it was predictable and avoidable, my friend. So if you tell us now what is going to happen, what will happen? So if I explain it, it will help this government. That one I just make me take a shit. I wasted my time trying to listen to that guy. So first, we acknowledge that Sanusi, and indeed any Nigerian, has the inalienable right to express an opinion either in form of commendation or criticism on how the government is being run. However, we find it amusing that a leader, more so one from an institution that enable forthrightness, fairness, and justice, will publicly admit to shuffling of saying the truth because of personal interest. I like that. Inch on imaginary antagonism. I like the fact, like that, I like the way you put it like that. Yeah, you're in a position as a leader who, if you now let's even narrow your powership to your constituency alone, it's pretty much reasonable numbers of Nigerians. You are denying them the privilege to which you are occupy that position for in the first place. You are there in that position you occupy because of stuff like this, so that in times of hardship, in times of difficulty, your knowledge and your wisdom will come to play. But you are hiding it from your own subject. So, Mr. Minister, I think you know book. I like that. Actually, I just come to conclusion. You really took it well. You know, you are publicly saying that in a time of difficulty that your people Forget the whole Nigeria. That's what I say. You're Nigeria. The people of Emirates are going through hardship because of this government, and you know what will actually help them to help your people. You are holding on them. Then why are you a leader? Why are you there? Where is Dangote when you need him? Ay, eh? Come on now. It is pertinent to state that Nigerian is at a pivotal junction where bold and decisive action are necessary to tackle entrenched economic challenge. This administration has implemented transformative reform not because they are easy, but because they are essential for securing Nigerian long-term sustainability, stability, and growth, as Emir Sanusi had constantly advocated for. God damn. Okay, I think I'm liking this response anyway. Even though I was kind of like it doesn't worth giving a response attention, giving a if I just say Boala to Ram, respond to Ram. Or you know. The temporary pain currently experienced from this inevitable decision, as Sanusi himself acknowledged, are a necessary consequence of decades of irreparable economic management more than anything else. And the more reason you should have, if you so have the Mada's touch, if you get actually that miracle wisdom or whatever you're going to give the government to help them, you're not helping the government, you are helping your subjects. Who are the people of what? Kano, Emirates, who are also direct beneficiary of whatever this government is dishing out. So, just like the minister said, instead of you to put your personal interests aside and look straight to the pledge of your subjects, the Kanawas, and help them out of the predicament, you blindly stood in their face and say, Waka, no gonna go die, and no go help una. That's what he's telling the people of Kano. Eh? Jafar, that's your uncle. Oh, explain what you what see your uncle. What did they give your uncle the smoke for Lagos? I mean, so it is. I mean, what's he trying to achieve? Anyway, this reform I already do. I like it. I like this. I like this government. You give them 1 inch, they'll take a whole yard. Give them see. I just see. They don't see it as an opportunity to advertise their laudable policy. They say these reforms are already delivering measurable progress. The unification of exchange rate has bolstered investor confidence, which has contributed to the increased foreign reserve and strengthening Nigeria's ability to shield itself from external economic shock. I mean, they are not lying. They are not lying. Because all you need to do is to check, according to Obi, go, go waiting, go, I in the talk, so I go do your research. I'll be the there. But all they needed to do, if you think they are lying, just take this statement, place them before the likes of Elumelu, the likes of Tony, the like all of them. They will tell you say they are right. Exchange rate has actually helped them make a few billions already, and that's exactly what I was trying to make Omori you understand. That when it comes to the presidential level, it's not for poor people. You have no business trying to say this is who must be the president. You don't have what if you don't have what it takes, you make a noise. So when the minister is saying the reforms are delivering measurable progress, it's not talking to the poor motherfucker, not talking to the poor people, man. It's talking to the people that the reforms are carried out on their behalf. The removal of the fuel subsidy has freed up significant resources, allowing for greater investment in critical sectors such as infrastructure, education, and healthcare. Projection from expected institutions, including the World Bank, shows an upward trajectory. Guys, were I to live for that country easy. See, how to dey make case to dey speak for this government easy. I mean, I talk am. They are not speaking for everybody. They speak for the few. That's why he said the only source, the only place you can say go and verify. That's the word that the always use. Go and verify is the World Bank. Go verify. Now World Bank now you put them there. Now World Bank give them the policy. You World Bank tell them how to implement that, how what is going to be the effect. The case never close. So they are actually doing, they are working. That's why I thought when people thought, oh, these people are not, they are incompetent. They don't know what they are doing. Yeah, no, 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 no. Nah, now you don't know what they do. Because they know exactly what they are doing. They are doing exactly what they are put there to do. Not for you. Say World Bank show upward trajectory in Nigerian GDP, signaling that our economy is firmly in the path to recovery. Chicken up. Case closed. Case has closed. Now, additionally, by addressing insufficiency, the country has reduced its debt service to revenue ratio, creating a more sustainable fiscal framework for future generations. Bam! Now you go. Now you agree. You don't agree. Oh. They are moving on smoothly. The statement said it is deeply disappointing that reforms widely recognized as essential by global experts, including by Emir Sanusi himself, are now being substantially condemned by him because of shifts in loyalty. I tell you, His Highness, given his background in economics, has a unique responsibility to contribute constructively rather than undermining reforms aimed at collective progress because he feels estranged from his friends in government. I don't come now. Say, it's very clever how he decides to just come and talk rubbish. In between that rubbish, he puts his demand there. When he said this administration don't even have competent people to come and explain. That's right there. Right there. That's where the grievances is. Right there. Not him, but personally to come and be running his mouth. It's not in position to do that, but he has loyalty. Loyal people who could have done a better job, according to him, that this government is not helping. But most importantly, he was expecting Tinubu to help him. I think Tinubu looked the other way when the fight was going on between him and Ganguje. What do you want me Tinubu do now? The man will help and we literally help and we become president as a party chairman. Me turn his back on him. I don't, that's not who he is. He's a loyal man to the core. He would rather stay off and let the best win. Fortunately for Sanusi, Kunkoso won. He won that round. So he's loyal. So that's where the minister is talking about loyalty. Now your loyalty has shifted. You are beginning to antagonize and see the government as well. See? Now them there, they know. I mean, even the Sanusi themselves, they can say we are friends. But they have choose to do what? To act unfriendly to Ram. So himself. So this big boy is having fun. Just doing what they know how to do best. Taking advantage of us. That's what as far as I'm concerned with. I said the Minister of Housing could not explain the difference, I mean, between National Housing Scheme and Renew Hope Agenda Housing Scheme. This they just appoint us so you know we explain. Ah, man. I will laugh. I was.
To be honest, I can stand here today and I can give a few points that are contrary, a few points that explain perhaps what we're going through and how it was totally predictable, most of it, and maybe avoidable. But I'm not going to do that. I've chosen not to speak about the economy and the reforms or to even explain anything because if I explain it will help this government, and I don't want to help the government. I don't want to help this government. You know, they're my friends. If they don't behave like friends, I don't behave like a friend. So I watch them being stewed, and they don't even have people with credibility who can come and explain what they're doing. But I'm not going to help. I started out helping, but I'm not going to help. I'm not going to discuss it. Let them come and explain to Nigerians why the policies that are being pursued are being pursued. And meanwhile, I'm watching a very nice movie with popcorn in my hands. I'm watching them stew. But I will say one thing. What we are going through today is at least in part, not totally, at least in part, a necessary consequence of decades of irresponsible economic management.
I tell you, the always one and noise that they make of it. So this is the news. We just dey enter. Governors back Tinubu tax reform proposed equity VAT sharing formula. I'll tell you now before say all these royal ramble where they all dey talk, make noise everywhere, north, south, east, west, and center, and just bargaining movement. Na it dey do. The Nigerian Governor Forum has expressed support for the proposed tax reform bill currently being deliberated at the National Assembly. The forum has also called for equitable sharing formula for VAT tax to ensure fair distribution of resources among states. Well, according to Buba, said now only legislation to do that one. So that will be done later. In a statement issued on Thursday, the Nigerian Governor Forum revealed that the decision was reached after a meeting with the President Tax Reform Committee on January 16. The meeting addressed national issue, including the ongoing efforts to reform Nigerian fiscal policy and tax system. They acknowledged the need for an overhaul tax system to enhance revenue generation and promote economic stability. The forum emphasized the importance of a fair VAT sharing formula that takes into account the economic reality and developmental needs of our states. That should not supposed to be federal government take home. Now go help you develop your state. That's what I've been saying. Let every state get a fuck of the national cake, focus on their state, focus on the resources available in their state, both human and spiritual resources, to build the infrastructure that the state needs. Plug all the state, let them go. Give every state its autonomy to able to do all these things. The statement read, we members of the Nigerian Government Forum has and Presidential Tax Reform Committee convened on the 16th of January 2025 to deliberate on a critical national issue, including the reform of Nigerian fiscal policy and tax system, and arrived at the following resolution. The forum reiterated the strong support for the comprehensive reform of Nigerian tax law. Member acknowledgements the importance of the modernizing the tax system to enhance fiscal stability and align with global best practice. Not be all these things. Okay, let me see. We can never jump to conclusion to see if they because all these things has nothing to do with nothing has changed. I mean, these are the things where the whatever that I said the tax has is all about. This is not something new that's coming from the government. Now, the forum endorsed a reverse value tax added from sharing formula to ensure equitable distribution of resources. Now, lie. 50% based on equity, 30% based on derivation, and 20% based on population. Imagine, you see how I like this. I like this. I like the northern states. I like the northern elite. I like them. I mean, they know they carry last. No, all this worry know they carry last. I think we should change them. Aboki know they carry last. Maybe that's the best way to put it. Just look at it, man. On the new form, the new share, the VAT sharing formula where they want, how they want it. 50% based on equity. Equity means where you generate from Abi. I think this is what it means in this one, where how much every state it generates you get equivalent. But 30% should be based on derivation. This oh no, now the derivation be where the generator from. Equity is what? Based on federal, state, and local government. How somebody should explain that to me. Maybe they will go further. Now 20% based on population. That one that's fucked up. That's fucked up right there. Hell no. Hell fucking no. Hell fucking no. That one no go green. No. How do you control the population then if there is free money go they come? Huh? How do you keep the population accountable? If I know say myself will get money free child just based on say I dey increase my number, why not? So right there I have problem with because again if I have the autonomy to generate my own take advantage of my own resources, utilize them as I want, make my own money. You don't come tell me say make I send money to you because you wanna plenty pass me. Hell no. Again, it's the system. So they are just taking advantage of the system. That's why I say Abokino they carry last. Now, member agreed that yes, how the fuck did they get the southern governors to even agree to this? If I don't understand. How? How the fuck did they actually get them to agree to that? Wow, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Members agree. How? Who na consult before una agree to this? Anyway, members agree that there should be no increase in the VAT rate or reduce in corporate. I know if I say that one, I know we agree. Let's see now. See all these stupid people. I like this. Let me see. Let me see. Because that right there, I don't see how they no go agree. Now that tax increment, nine be the cocoa. That VAT increment from 7 to 9%, 9 to 10, 10 to be 15 by 2030. How the cocoa be that? Anyway, maybe let's see. And there's a reduce in corporate income tax. At this time, no maintain economic stability. The forum advocated for the continued exemption of essential goods and agricultural produce from VAT to safeguard the welfare of citizens and promote agricultural productivity. You see my problem with all these fools. all these motherfuckers, so-called governors, and so-called, they are advocating that VAT should not be acquired to food product. Motherfucker, una no fit go farm again. Na foreign, na companies, na corporation come dey farm for Nigeria. Na for foreign company dey produce our food. But these motherfuckers are advocating that they should not be taxed. Pretty much, that's what they are saying. Show. I'll come show out. So, the day I go catch you. Anybody, if you show no day, I met. Yeah, I'll catch you. Physically, if I don't feel beat am, I go rent two more boys. Because the guy they terrorize, he know they allow my governor breathe. Eh? Any small thing, he go put that for my face, my governor, my governor. In the name of saying my governor na anything. Look at educated people. The so-called educated people. Now then they advocate that the foreign nationals who are now in charge of our food production in our own land should not be taxed. The fact that they carry all the profits go back to where they come from is not even enough, but you are saying, come, that money said they should not be taxed. Because when you are saying agricultural production should not be taxed, it's a good thing if we are in charge of the production, if we now they be the agriculture, now we be the farmers. But at a point where farmers are being killed in their tens and thousands every freaking day, every length part of that country. And I saw an headline that says in our military. Let me read the headline. Our military they talk say recent terror attack caused by foreign fighters. Foreign fighters. Now that go back to what the Niger president, Chad president, who was saying that there are French military in Borno, but Nuhu Rubado come out to say they are not military based. That's not what they ask you. That's not what they say they are there. They say they are military present. So now the the DHS, Defense Headquarters, is saying that the casualty, yes, I mean 2 days ago I was talking about the over 40 farmers that were killed and all those kinds. They said the terror attack caused by foreign fighters. Make I read that. Now, idiots where they advocate say make them no tax farm, make them no tax food product again. No. Food where we know they produce. Listen, the defense headquarters has stated that foreign insurgents should be blamed for the influx in battering in the northeast and northwest region of Nigeria. Foreign fighters, foreign insurgents. Let's see the difference. There has been deadly attack on military bases and civilian population in the last few weeks. Speaking on the escalation situation during the first military briefing of the year, the outgoing Director of Defense Media Operation, Major General Buba Edward, attributed the resurgence of the fighters from the Sahel region, working in collaboration with the local accomplice. He, however, assured Nigerians of the military commitment to the eradicating terrorism in the Boko. So, at a time where all the farmers, because the war for no busy me just to castinate this one now. The war our farmer has been going on for almost 15 years. One will say start during good luck Jonathan. Sorry, go Obasanjo, but one will say no, not during good luck Jonathan. Right? The Sambisa forest that or the arable land that will be campaigned with. Now that they pursue people from so they by the time you go there you see foreign nationals, all their companies buy land, they farm. And here our governors carry their big belly line up, say make them know the tax food product again. As if he's saying something, they are saying they are trying to help Nigerians. So see what they talk. Say the statement reads, with the members of the Nigerian Governors Forum and Presidential Tax Forum on the 16th, da. The forum endorsed the universal value of the da. The meeting recognized that there should be no terminal clause. So say the forum advocated for the continual exemption of essential goods and agricultural produce from VAT to safeguard the welfare of citizens and promote agricultural productivity. Nigga, you can promote agricultural activity all you want. If we cannot go to our farm to farm and foreign nationals are coming to take advantage of it, then what the hell? What's the point? The meeting recommended that there should be no terminal clause for TEFT for so many shit that doesn't make sense. The meeting supported the continuation of the legislative process at the National Assembly that will culminate in the eventual passage of the tax bill. So there are more important debates going on at the National Assembly, but your Sanusi face is entitled to our attention and they can get it anytime he wants. And I think he's right. Former Chief Security Officer to the late General Sani Abacha, Major Hamza Al Mustafa, has declared that it is time to save the North from decades and unite the region. Onye na-eme ma onye na-eme mọrụkwala ọzọ. Onye na-eme ma onye na-eme mọrụkwala ọzọ. This shit, she feels like 60s. Anyway, according to him, the process would hurt some persons and disturb segments of leadership, but it is a necessary step for the healing of the North. Healing. Who they would do that? Who are they heal? Yeah, I like grammar, sha. I like grammar. Hey, politician, say anything. Understand Al Mustafa made the declaration in Kaduna State on the sideline of an event in memory of the late Premier of Northern Nigeria, Southern Aminu Bello. He stressed that getting the North back on track would not benefit the region alone, but also benefit Nigeria as a nation. The former military officer lamented that the institutions in the North are weak, which has become responsible for the various ill beliefs bedeviling the region and its people. In his word, it is better to help people and get it back on course for us to achieve what we desire, so that the country at the final end will be the beneficiary of the unity in the North. Institutions that are in the 19th northern states are either weak or not. We are all seeing gaps that are responsible for the social and bedeviling the North. Therefore, identifying the problem and rather than seeing succor, we would always continue to see crime rather than being increase the capital share. I'm a politician at the campaign. We got it. So, ladies and gentlemen, our governors don't say they agreed to. I mean, they never opposed it anyway. The bill, they're just cashing on it. Opportunity for them to cash on it, cash out, bargain, get promotion, assure a ticket, or what have you at the expenses of what every other person. We need more funding to fight insecurity. Matawale. That guy, there's something special about that guy that I don't know yet. I go find out why. Chief BC Akande, I am happy APC is liberating Nigeria. Now, there's one thing where I noticed in the name of uh, Armed Forces Remembrance Day, in the name of remembrance of the first the coup and all that kind of shit. Anything where anybody talk about this coup, la lie. hold on now. I'm not saying because I know it or no. All the write up what they see, the Reno, them FFK, everybody they put out picture of Sardona, trying to paint a narrative, paint a story that na southeast or na southern Kuda and all that. Everybody way they talk so. Now lie. For one obvious reason, the people wey carry out the coup, they are still alive. They are still here with us. But most importantly, they see their power. They see control power. So how the fuck do you think the truth will come out? We are talking about 1966. The likes of the Obasanjo, the IBB, the CDBC Akande, all of them. Now them fight the war. Now them be the na their time, now them be the civil war, now them. Now when I'm saying at them, some of I mean Buhari said it, they fought. Some of them literally fought, some of them were literally aware, some of them are playing different role. So if they are not speaking up, who the heck are you? You think you what you know not the truth, and they actually allow you to put it out there. Because everybody only talking about the coup. This what led to the coup. Nobody's talking about that. What happened in the 50s, leading to the independence? What happened in the 40s? Nobody is talking about all those things. But most importantly, the people will do the will fight the will do everything. They are still here. This Obasanjo and the rest. Obasanjo that write book tire, you know write letter tire. He has never go in depth about what happened in the Civil War, what led to the Civil War, because he was at the center of everything. He knows. So when I see people just they write on and on about how it's so good, they mention names, they put all their names, that's like, God, who do us like, well, maybe I not also do all like this. Because these people, they are still here. All of them, see, they still get power. And you think you will want to, you will know the truth. Have you ever read the truth somewhere? A lie. No be daily faro to me where write small truth. You know say how they deal with am. So imagine that now see the same people. What's his name? Babalola. In his 90s, not them. These are the people. When you want to know what transpires, what led to the civil war, what happened, now them will give you the now them will give you the real account. They had passed the out. How does them be that time? They know. Now only small truth they talk about them, and you see her head, well, unleash on Dele Farotimi. So you won't come to say you actually what you dey talk about the civil war na truth, and you see it there. I'm not saying the story that have been written about it are far from it. No, not. But no, that's the truth. Go only come and when all these men, all these people wey dey 70 years old now, sef, I think above don't die go. Yeah, all of them don't dey. Like that generation is out. Maybe we'll begin to see one or two truths.
Whatever power you're seeing abused in Nigeria, whether that is judicial power, whether that is the power of the police, that of the DSS, the custom, the EFCC, all these abuses are obviously allowed by a system that is not structured to uphold the law. Impunity has become a culture with us. It's not just the persons in government. Musicians would have people picked up and locked up. Bankers would have people picked up and locked up. University proprietors, all kinds of people up and down the length and breadth of Nigeria, traditional rulers, a rich man with no office, legislators happy slapping a person simply because he dared to ask questions. Impunity is the order of the day in our country because we are not subject to law. When you validate the oppression of one on account of your hatred or dislike of that one, you validate the use of the same impunity and oppression against yourself when it comes round to your turn.
Our coat of many colors must not be torn asunder. That is what our enemies would prefer. Each and every person who benefits from the ruination of Nigeria is an enemy of Nigerians. Usually, they distract us. They use religion. They use ethnicity. They use politics, partisanship. But we're part of the same tapestry. We're part of the same cloth, and we mustn't tear it apart. Yes, I would love to tear apart the iniquitous Nigeria that has held all of us hostage. But I don't want to tear my country apart. I want to tear down the evil system that permits the evil that has overtaken our country. I don't want to tear the fabric apart. No, it's the system. What combines together is the fabric. It's got a coat of many colors, yes, but it becomes a coat only because the fabric was stitched together. It wasn't batik. It's not batik, it's not tie and dye. It's a patchwork of different colors. You have diversity, but it only becomes strength when you find common purpose, when you're all pulling in the same direction. The Nigerian in the northern part of Nigeria must want the rule of law. The Nigerian in the southern part of Nigeria must want the rule of law. Because what ails you as Mustafa ails Amechi. The same thing is disturbing Olakunle. Nodu is afflicted by the same. The future must hold a Nigeria that is accountable to law, both by persons and by institutions of state. We are more than them. We are by far more than them. Good morning in a new Nigeria is what we need to be saying to ourselves.
You asked. Any Nigerian who is still hanging around waiting for 2023 to change Nigeria is a fool. Line 20 Daily Faro me up and ask them to become president of Nigeria. 20 of me, 20. Multiply their brain power by 10, factor of 10, and then force them to operate the 1999 Constitution with the governance system that is enshrined in it. We shall fail spectacularly. The problem of Nigeria can never be resolved by personnel changes. The system is designed with impunity undergirding it, and it can never deliver anything positive to the Nigerian peoples. Be those Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, whatever they care to be. Make an Igbo man president of Nigeria in 2023 and force him to operate the 1999 Constitution. Complete waste of time. Igbo will continue to suffer the brunt of the wickedness of the Nigerian state. Every Nigerian is rendered stateless by the 1999 Constitution. It is an iniquitous, wicked, and evil document. It has nothing good for the Nigerian people. And the longer we continue to fool ourselves believing, and let me enter one quick caveat. Our rulers are actually very intelligent when they care to be, especially when it comes to their own preservation. And I know as a fact that they're already making noises about restructuring in Abuja. The Mace Snatcher and the Lawan and that one that calls himself Baja, all of them are sat there running helter-skelter, cobbling together some lies that they intend to sell to us as constitutional, what do they call it, amendment. Let's be clear. You cannot continue to build on top of lies. You can't sustain that lie. And as long as justice is missing in a place, you continue to have strife. We need to tell ourselves the truth, and that truth is that the closest we can come to normalcy in Nigeria is to have a return to the original agreements that founded this country. Those agreements are very clear in their fundamentals. One of them, federal system. Nigeria is today not a federal system. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The word federal was brought to life by the American election. Each state has its own electoral body because it is essentially a country within a larger country. That was what our fathers agreed. Nobody agreed a situation where a clueless man will sit down inside a rock and begin to issue edicts and diktats to every other person. Nobody signed on for that in 1960. All the constitutional conferences, beginning from 1948 all the way to the 1951, all the way to 1960, each and every one of them was very clear and unambiguous. Nigeria was meant to be a federal system based on parliamentary democracy. It wasn't by accident that our fathers settled on parliamentary democracy. They wanted to make democracy as close to the people as it could be. So it simply meant that if you're a parliamentarian, you knew your people knew you. It was the aggregation of the parliamentarians that determined who became the prime minister, and they were also the ones at the regional level who determined who became the premier. So democracy was devolved. It was easier for the people to become involved. What we have today is not a democracy. What we have today is not a federation. We've just become a nation of liars who readily accept every lie that we are told.
And that's why I said, in as far the likes of Obasanjo and his generation, the whole generation are still alive, we no go ever know the truth of what really happened during the coups, what led to the coups, the civil war, and all that. Because what Dele Faro to me is touching on is what our founding father, don't forget, are British people. And that's why I keep saying, see all the coups, all the assassination, including civil war, it's all to force the system into one unity presidential system. That's what it cost. Now the cost better because now the British system be that. But from that 60s during the Cold War, that was when America was asserting their dominance. And they have to make things the way they can control. Again, which takes me to Obasanjo. Obasanjo need to be studied. Obasanjo know more than we think. He is the guy. It's at every junction when that process was being forced. Then earlier on, earlier in the week, I was talking about last week. I was talking about how the wars that the European countries fight for hundreds of years just to do what to achieve the nation state the way we have it now. Now, that's in all those European wars of 15, 16, 17, or before then. Recently, they get peace. So after they finally achieved, Second World War, we all know how recent that was. So now the same to turn us, just like to amalgamate us. A lot of people have to go for it, right? Anybody that disagree with that way, they will kill them. That's the story nobody is telling, and that's exactly what the fatherless people, Dele Ogun, was the story what he was trying to tell us. How they get us to amalgamate in the first place. The process that leads to us, that leads to 1941. They begin to conquer little by little. That the same way they do India too. Conquer the south, conquer the west, go to the north and all that. That is the process that gave us parliament, that gave us the amalgamation, eventually lead to the military system, you to a parliamentary system. Then from parliamentary system, and that it took almost a decade, right? It took almost a decade. Let's say when they give us independence, the parliamentary system from 1960 to what? I think like 63 before election begin coming. And guess what? 60s, before the first coup took place in the 66. Gowon came in, still they draw leg for ground, still trying to strengthen the regional. Gowon was still trying to maintain the structure that the British people left, which is the parliamentary system. Was still trying to, so they thought they call this guy too dey slow, right? Now waiting make them overthrow am be that. That's how the process began. What was how many years? From 1960 to what? 79 before we finally get we finally say okay, Obasanjo shining what is it called, democracy, which is the presidential system. About the constitution too of 1960. They follow the 1963 constitution. Then it's still no end there. They still they draw level ground. Military come back again. But democracy has to be practiced in Nigeria, no matter who heads its cost. Right? When Abacha they drag left for ground, what you do am? Eh? They had to take him out of the way. Abdul Salam had to make sure the things are put in order. Just pay attention to this. Pay attention to the the francophone countries, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. Pay attention to them. The next 5 years, they don't give them dates, time. Must do election. If you know do it, you are out. One way or the other, they will take you out. So at every junction, there's a price to be paid. And I will say the millions of people that were starved to death during the Civil War are all the price to arrive at where we are today, presidential system. Now, I mean, if that is our route, if that is the trajectory that we took with the coup, assassination, civil war, or assassination, by everything happened, for us to have this level of how long, what do you think is going to cost to say we want to turn it around? Or we want yet to say, you know what, at least we want to be free. What do you think it's going to cost? So hence, the leaders, they know they talk about the system. They will only tell you that the leaders because the leader, but I think go tell you that the leaders be the problem. Obi go tell you that leaders be the problem. Congo go tell every one of them, they'll tell you that leaders be the problem. as if we can go and buy another leaders. As if the leaders where we are, they no come out naturally, whether we like it or not, from us. So the system takes a lot to change the system, especially during the election that they talk as they come. It's 24 years strong. What is it going to look like in another 24, 50, when this structure don't stand for 50 years? American system is going to it's going to be 250 years this year. So just go study evolution of American democracy. Now so it be. We went through all these things, then get their set together, build their economy, build their defense, stick your head out, dominate the region, take on the world with one system. The Chinese system that you see they are holding strong to it is thousands of years. It's just that they rewrite time, but with the same principle they come. So yes, Delivery to me was right. The 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 system that were handled to us by the British only lasts for what? Even the Yaradua way concept, you know that pressure. So that's how long it's going to take because some people are benefiting now. But that's why I was telling the point I was trying to pass across to Mori then was forget leaders. We don't need leaders. Let's come together in small numbers, take over our immediate environment little by little. The leaders are not our problem because we need to form a body first. Then if we cannot form a leadership that lead that body, we can't say okay, we have a leadership problem. But we don't have a body, we say we get leadership problem. Which plays into those that say we don't have a country and a business entity we get. Then if that is the case, what the heck are we worrying about leaders? Let's get our act together first. But I understand those people who believe that the country is business also want to live, which is that's their own way out. They understand the fact that there's no, they know that it's not leadership. To pay attention to those who are actually make case for secession is that it's not leadership. The problem they see is not leaders. It's not leadership. There's a fundamental problem from the one from the beginning that's never held. The union never hold. They force them it's like they put gun for their head. Time is running out. Y'all got to put your act together or do something. So if there is no horse, why are we worrying about leader? And that's why the people like somebody like Sanusi can come to Lagos and run a match the way he wants. It is because he's supposed to be responsible for a caliphate. But in the recent, even the caliphate is in chaos. So if the house of leadership is in chaos, he can afford to do whatever he's doing. So it ain't about the leaders.
Thing I need all of you to know is this: I am not unmindful of the sacrifices that you have made to be here today. May the grace of God find and locate you wherever you are. Amen. It is not ever an easy journey when you are fighting evil. Yes. At all. But some years back, before I started this work, God told me very clearly, and I heard it very clearly. He says, once have I spoken, once has he spoken, twice have I heard. He says, the truth is enough. It is the only weapon by which you can slay the monster called Nigeria. The truth, nothing else. In my public advocacy, in my fight and my wars against this evil empire that we all live in, I have never lied against anyone. If I don't know, I'll say I don't know. That's true.
Somebody say, that's true. How you say no? You be armed. I mean, no. Wow.
You are watching feudalism being institutionalized in broad daylight. Feudalism thrives on impunity. It does not thrive on the rule of law. That is what you are seeing institutionalized. Law does not matter and cannot and must not matter if feudalism must reign. And that is what has happened. What all the people who have helped to institutionalize this madness would have found is that they have helped to promote the reign of evil. Because if this evil is condoned in relation to one, it is institutionalized in relation to all.
Talking about institutions, they always yab the obedience or call them out for not taking advantage of what Obi has done in terms of giving them pretty much an institution for them to build upon or build institution around this the obedient movement. And I always advocate that it should start from colleges, from schools. From every evening, just mm, people will just gather, just talk about one book, one something, one thing that has to replace to relate it to the ideology. But maybe people don't understand where I'm going with that. I think there's an headline that reads that says the APC government, Bola Tinubu government, had decided to make I see, make I know, this one are from show, I think it was show. Yeah, they said President Tinubu has approved palliative support for student union government presidents across 36 states and FCT. I say immediately, I say holy moly, the Nigerian youth, the Nigerian youth are just been taken over or divided. And I said that with obedience in mind because that's their constituency, man. They dominate that uh, group of voters. Let me put it that way. So when a president who is seeking for re-election approve parliamentary support for the student union government, automatically you are saying you don't buy the student, you don't buy the whole youth from the school with that now. Because now palliative then talk. We don't know what is it going to come in form of. If it's going to come in form of money, how much is it going to come in form of appointment? I mean, there's so many. You will see a lot of students who want to be closer. What he's trying to do is trying to make the student union government structure in every university alive again. Maybe not forever, but at least for his own time. Now, is it a coincidence that this kind of offer is coming at the eve of the National Youth Conference that is about to happen in Abuja? No, it's not a coincidence. It's all in the plan work. Just like when we are drawing the same conclusion that it is not a coincidence that at the time that his son, Sheikh Tinubu, is of age to take office, momentum is being generated behind artificially, virtually, whatever you want to put up, in line with the National Youth Conference. I mean, it's no brainer. But these are just the space I was saying if I did obedient, strategic committee, these are the things you have to advocate for people. And then go. Just every school you're already there, every evening or every day, one day of the week, your boys will just gather, boys and girls will just gather. Let's talk about some shit that happened that will be believing. Because I don't know, but I don't think it's Obi fault that the followership could not see beyond 2023, and it is happening again. They are not seeing beyond 2027, right? There's no way we'll break out 2027. Okay, then that's it. No, sure, but what are his chances going forward? Because politics is a marathon, no be sprint. Just because Bola Tinubu the contest once and took the office one doesn't mean he just decided to wake up one morning. It's coming from nowhere. No, a lot of work. I use the Olympic sport as an analogy a couple of days ago. You don't wake up the Olympic year and start the track and field, for instance. Your first time to start to do the sport now this year, now that's it. That year, Olympic cycle that year. Let's say start here, then 4 years later, I do Olympic, you say you won't go win am. No. If you are too good, you go qualify. And that is because you are coming from a country that is the competition is not up to par. That's exactly politics. So for me, if I be obedient people, you have to be know how to project this man, because you have to scan the country around. Who are his competitors? What are their advantage and disadvantage? 'Cause whether I like it or not, yeah. Then you project it, right? For him to perform well 2027, they have to work harder than they work 2023. That's the only way we can get the same performance or better. Then that will put you in a put you in a better shape ahead of 2031. You know, because I use sport as an they use the word shape. Better shape, not shape. My endurance, they test you. You are looking for something that is a privilege pretty much. So you are going to go through a lot of tests, a lot of vetting. However, it is that they vet you, they will do am. So I don't know why it is Obi that failed to communicate that. And I think I would say I don't know. I can blame him. I blame him because the reaction of Kenneth Okonkwo plays into what I'm saying. Kenneth Okonkwo can blame me for not seeing beyond now, but at the same time, I don't know where he in the economically or financial outlook. So holy shit! But he should be able to see that a candidate, a product like Obi, you have to be able to understand his lifespan. Now, like you see, like products, how long can I keep this product before I finally toss it to someone else or however you want to do it. So being a product that withstand the taste of time, it's like gold. Right? The longer you can have it, keep it, the better chance you have of getting a better return. But the obedience could not see that. They refuse to see beyond 2023. I don't blame them, but they should understand that is part of the process by now. When I'm afraid they are not even seeing 2027, but I know the CBC they still get that. By the time they're able to rattle them up again, the goal is not to see beyond 2027. And the same thing will be then you will now say, by the time they will realize that Kamplasen only will be 90 now because it's coming to that point. Because what I will advise them to project is the only person that has more numbers than him now is Tinubu. Even though they don't want to agree, but he's here. So after Tinubu, there's nobody else again in this house. I mean, not that there are no people. We're still going to have people like Wike. We're still going to have people like Akpabio. We are still going to have people like the Minister of National Transportation, Umai. You know, we are still going to have people like Uti, people like Soludo. But that time you will know say there's difference between boys and men. The difference go there. Just like in 2020, there will be no get full blast because he has no currency, pretty much political currency. But going after 2027, it's not just going to have a political currency, but it's going to be the guy to beat, not just in the south, but across the nation. So again, I people use Trump as an example. Trump come to 16 and won it. No, Trump and Obi no be the same. So there's so much different. Trump has been on our screen, has been a celebrity for like 30 years straight. But other than that, Trump was adopted by the movement that was pretty much almost 10 years old, previous to them adopting him. If you want to trace the MAGA movement, you have to trace it back to 2005, 2006, when they opened bread by Steve Bannon and the other founder that later died. So that's where the movement started. So as time goes on, they saw Trump like somebody who spoke their language, who's speaking like them, acting like them, even though the economic situation they different, but fuck it. But that's the guy, and they adopted him, and today now it was different case. And again, I'm not telling you, then Nigeria with it, na party, that na party. Once you win a Democrat or Republican ticket, you are 50% in, and that's exactly what the PDP and APC are trying to do. But I don't know how they would do it when Obi will be the most popular politician after 2027. Because I don't see Atiku the way that they fire Atiku now. Even if he succeed this round, it no go reach 2031, politically speaking. So Obi will be the most popular politician alive after Tinubu, North and South. Because I believe say Atiku go spoil runs, Atiku go spoil game. Unless say Atiku could not have his way now, and maybe somebody else come and put up some numbers that can rival will be small, even though the person no fit to be. So we are going to have more drama coming out from the north. As we forge ahead in our story.
You think leadership is a common case? No. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. Whenever you are in leadership, look at what happened to Donald Trump. In America, where security is everywhere. Yet, 2 times now they wanted to kill him. Every profession has its own risk. If you're not willing to take the risk that is attached to any profession, step aside so that people who are given that mind by God will go ahead and serve God in that capacity. If you're an actor and an actress and you say you're not going to hug babes and you're not going to kiss them, step aside. Because that's what the job is. Don't come and say you're a born-again Christian. That's what the job entails. If you're a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you, and because you don't want to die, step aside. Because that's what the job entails. Any politician that is not behaving like Simfubara, who will resist and protest when his rights are trampled upon, knowing that our judicial system, knowing that our electoral system have failed us, that any politician who will not stand his ground, no matter the risk to his person, I said I will not speak for that politician again, and I maintain it. And you can see what is happening, because we can't go forward. We calm down. If Simfubara has been saying calm down, do you know where River State would have been? He said he's ready for them. He's fully prepared. The election must go on. The election must hold. Winners must be declared. They will be sworn in. And whatever is going to happen, let it happen. I am looking for leaders who would say nobody will rig my election. And if you rig my election, I will fight. Nigerians, come out and fight. If they kill anybody, let them kill all of us. Oh yes, and thank God I'm seeing it happen. What Fubara did, was he advocating for violence? Was he advocating that the law should be broken? No. He was advocating for his right. That's my opinion. That's my advocacy. We must advocate for our right and stand by it. I did not disqualify anybody. I don't have that right. I said I am not going to speak for anybody going forward except this person meets this criteria. In any case, we have finished 2023 election. It's over. 2027 election, has not come. So anybody who is saying betrayer, what am I betraying? There is nothing on ground. When I was a spokesman in 2023, I did my job creditably well, and we convinced Nigerians on what we believe is right. But you can see that in Nigeria, you not only have to have the power to win election, you have to have the power to defend your election. So anybody that does not have that spirit or power to defend the votes in a manner that you would say, whatever happens to me as a person, let it happen. I am not willing to speak any further for the person. So what I just simply said is that going forward, I will no longer be part of this until these fears are addressed. So I did not disqualify anybody. One, I don't have that power. Then two, I am not betraying anybody because I'm still a member of Labour Party. And you can see I'm still fighting that Labour Party should be consolidated because Nigerians are looking for an alternative to these people. That if you want to fight these people who are compulsive thieves and who are the worst amongst us, leading us, according to Senator Ndume, who is part of them, then you have to grow higher and be more aggressive than calm down. That's what I said, and I stand by it. In all honesty, I would have said we don't. But because I'm a student of theology, I would not say so. Because when Elijah thought he was the only person that was worshiping God, God said, no, you're not the only person. There are more than 7,000 persons like you still in that country that have not done anything evil. I know them. So the only thing we have to do in this country, we must not be sentimentally attached to anybody, any politician. We must not be loyal to political parties or politicians. We have to be loyal to the country and to the law. And if any law is unjust, we have to fight the law. If anybody is doing anything illegal, no matter who the person is, we have to fight the person. So in Nigeria, we must create the environment so that those 7,000 that we do not know who are leaders will be able to begin to emerge. If the good ones keep quiet, they will never emerge. When people say people are selling their votes, you know why they are selling their votes? Because they believe that even if they vote their conscience, it will not count. Not because they want to be corrupt. They saw what happened in 2023. I was an active participant in that election of 2023. They did not sell their votes. But after, it did not count. So they'll be like, why would I go and say I'm voting for my conscience when it will not count? If I'm going to take this money, at least it will be what I gain. So if we don't fight, we are...
So my question for him is, since they rig him out of the election, according to him, what has he done to prepare for the fight? Have you raised soldiers? Politically speaking, I don't see you forming any movement. I don't see you putting his money, pushing to make sure people actually come out and vote. I've not seen them putting money, educating or building polling unit agents, officers, or cyber security experts. I mean, there's something. I mean, we all know what we believe they did to rig the election. What has he been doing? Few months from now, it will begin. No be only will be go throw down the bus again. Now every Nigerian, because Nigerians don't get sense, they don't vote for a candidate. But you haven't done anything other than just complaining or antagonizing people.
People protested when I was governor. They even caused strike. They shut down our schools for months, our hospitals for months. Well verified. We need more transparency. And when you talk about transparency in terms of figures, you show it, you elucidate it. Figures are not 1 + 1 is 2. It's not something you say it's just 2 because of. Tell us how we arrived at it and we'll believe. And when we talk about subsidy, I've continuously said, If we are removing subsidy, what are we replacing it with? Where are we applying that subsidy we removed to? So if you say to me, I've removed subsidy, I'm going to use it to build this number of classrooms, to be able to pull out of school children into school, so we can verify and follow and track those schools. We have issue in health, primary health care, especially issue of infant mortality. Removal of resource subsidy will enable us to build this number of primary health cares in different, so that we can measure it. So you don't remove something without saying what is replaced and where are we moving our money to. Or it's helping us to manage our debts. This is it. But here we have fuel subsidy removed, the debt is increasing, and we're not seeing anything. We have to continue our journey on democracy. It's government of the people, for the people, and by the people. However, we need to tweak it where we have some level of parliamentary system in it, like it's in South Africa. So we need to deal with issue of more scrutiny in our expenditure, in our borrowing, in efforts to be able to ensure that our scarce resources is prioritized to areas of urgent need for development, from security, food, all those areas, education. I'm not preoccupied about 2027 election. I'm preoccupied by Nigerians eating today and having a better life. I've said it before, my politics is not about the election. I am not desperate to be president, and I don't want to. What I want to hear is that fuel prices are coming down, bread is getting cheaper, Nigerians are not. You cannot be talking about 38 million Nigerians facing hunger, and I'm talking about next election. Let's talk about hunger. Let's talk about managing our resources today. Let's talk about doing the right thing, the right behavior, showing example to the younger ones, growing up that we're leaders. I've said that everybody, they have right to protest. I've said it before. I would discuss with every protester. They even want government months before they did that. I would sit down and discuss with them. People protested when I was governor. They even called strike. They shut down our schools for months, our hospitals for months. Well verified. I was talking with them. I didn't come down. I have never, as a politician, as a governor, for one day, go and ask any policeman, say, please, stop somebody. Talk less of arresting the person. It shouldn't be. In a democracy, people have right to say no. I've said it every day. If I'm managing this facility and everybody loves me, I will resign. This is me. Wherever I am, I believe that I have enemies. My job is to convince them. If everybody loves Peter, there's a problem. There's people who hate me because I'm just Peter. They don't even need to give me any reason. It is my job to convince them on why it should be. I convince the teachers why we should return schools to missionaries, and they've seen the result. I convince them why we should go to the missionary facilities, the Ministry of Health, and build school of nursing and midwifery. You just have to. It's a constant thing. That's why you're a leader. You're a communicator. You listen, you talk to the people. It's not a question of what the young ones, I'll meet them. The agitators, the protesters, I will be talking to them.
See, they don't respond. IMF. World Bank, they don't respond to Sanusi. So they had a piece on Bloomberg. So confidence is growing that Nigerian naira has finally stabilized following its tumultuous period since December. The naira has been trading within the narrow range of 1,550 naira to 1,520 naira per dollar. Hey, congratulations! Speaking optimal analysis, right? So if we remember the response of the minister to Sanusi, where he alluded to the fact that the stabilizing the exchange rates was a good thing for the, it's already yielding the dividends. So now to correlate what the minister said, this is what this speech is about. This speech just came out, by the way. So when I said they respond, I'm talking of something that just they just published the paper today, 7:30 this morning on Bloomberg. I don't know, but I'm not sure it's on Bloomberg Nigeria. But it's as Emelo Onu, who is I dropped the piece on Bloomberg. Said Deutsche Bank chief South African and Sub-Saharan African economics expressed bullish sentiments about the naira, predicting it could stabilize at around 1,500 or potentially even stronger. This newfound stability is welcome relief. I was considering the naira 70% depreciation against the dollar since foreign exchange control were released in 2023. However, not everyone shared this optimism, with some experts warning that the naira recent gains could be short-lived due to persistent high inflation rate. They are just trying to respond to Sanusi. If you want to read paper where they know they lie, newspaper where they lie, read Financial Times. Any people where they talk about finance, they talk about business. Because they know say na read business people they read and no be excuse me. So exchange rates are the factors that are stabilizing the naira to support the Bola Tinubu people. The naira flotation has allowed it to respond to market force, potentially attracting foreign investment and boosting exports. Inflation rate: Nigeria high inflation rates currently at 34.6. Current undermining the naira stability, economic policy, the government ability to implement of it. Come on, our inflation did 30 something. I be no okay. What is the unemployment rate? So after Sanusi finish for that place, since Naganufa Emi event means that there are a lot of illustrious Yoruba sons and daughters who will be at the event. They will come go sit down, chop dinner, chop better food, dance, drink better wine, join am. Ah, and people will dey there, they get headache over him because we don't talk anything. So when I just found out say the guy had made that statement in Lagos, I was like, okay, then just what's the point? Why federal government? Why government people they respond? Because if not Ganifa Amy events, that means the organizers of the event actually flew him down there, down on the focus on the private jet with all his entourage. It will cost them money. Even if they know, even in I own out of volunteer won't come, right? But the security obstacles, the arrangement, whether we make, but it will cost them millions. Then, as I said, Ghanaian Emmy events. So a lot of illustrious sons and daughters of Yorubas will be there. The president himself will be represented. So, and you think Sanusi doesn't know what he's doing. So that's why, for the first, he no talk anything. But maybe they try to get in touch with the president. They block out because language is a strong man. They block out. There's no way to reach out to her. And I say, okay, oh, that they go Lagos now. When I did there, I go tell him. I will talk to her direct. But it's sad that all the killings currently going on is playing people of their farm so that foreign corporation, foreign entities will come and occupy it they come buy the land, turn on to GMO farm. Sanusi no see that one talk about the running mouth. Well, when I like, share, and subscribe.
Like in all the nations of the world, the powerful political elites will determine who governs us. Like a proverbial knees on our necks, this nation is choking. We can no longer breathe. There is a shortage of air. We need to allow this nation thrive. I'm pleading with you tonight on behalf of millions of our people, more than 10 million of their children who are out of school, and more than half of the population who are in abject poverty. This nation cannot be taken as a private enterprise anymore. You, the ordinary Nigerian, can no longer keep quiet. The nation belongs to all of us. And this time around again, no sitting on the fence. We must speak up to rescue this nation. The continent of Africa is waiting for its giant to rise up and flourish. That is why 2023 election is a make or mar. Look, this nation cannot make a mistake with the choice of its next leader. It is a must we get it right. If you employ the best hands to run your private companies, we should have the best of us run the affairs of this nation. We must get leadership right, not only at the center, but across the states. Knowledge, crisis management skills, character and integrity, vision and courage to make tough decisions, effective communication skills, ability to unite the nation. Leaders who cannot show these traits cannot be hired. Enough is enough. Nigeria, arise. Vote and vote right. And your time is now.
We will soon enter that time where they go dey harass innocent people to vote and vote right. So now that the governors has come out and spoke with one voice in support of the tax bill, which other group will come again? Northern senators, I mean northern uh, traditional rulers. this is my Edo people. This is my Edo people. Let me guys see. Edo Election Tribunal. Igedalo. They affirm confidence in January amid raising tension. I like my people. The candidate of the People Democratic Party in the September 21 Edo governorship election, Asu Igedalo, as he affirmed his confidence in the national judiciary. Igedalo stands there. Igedalo stated this in Benin on Thursday outside the courthouse while speaking to newsmen amid raising tension in the Edo State Election Tribunal. He said that the PDP and its supporters were optimistic that the judiciary would do the right thing. According to him, we are looking forward to the outcome of the tribunal and we strongly believe that the judiciary will do the right thing. I can't wait. When they deliver the judgment, if you not go away, I go see, I go see where I go see talk this well about the judiciary. Oh, by the time they throw the case out or he lost the case, if he go still maintain this energy, then I know say okay. After Monday, 8 years, we'll consider am. Our focus remain. Say, according to him, we are looking forward to the outcome of the tribunal and we strongly believe that the judiciary will do the right thing. Our focus remains on reclaiming our mandate and working possibly for the good people of Edo State. We will take poverty out. See all this guy see I know they like. What do you mean? What if we take poverty out? My problem is all this thing with that. We will take poverty out of our land, eliminate fear and intimidation, and unlock the great potential of Edo. Ighodalo, who highlighted series of alarming incidents that have marred the tribunal proceeding, noted that the last occurred on Wednesday with an attack by a masked gunman outside the courthouse. This act of violence and harassment are deliberate distraction meant to make us take our eye off the ball. He, however, commended party faithful in the state for their state faith in the steadfastness over the last 3 months. I want to thank the good people of Edo who came out in mass numbers to vote for me or vote for her September 25th. And keeping faith through the difficulties, we have stayed calm in the face of intimidation, harassment, living on the strong hope that our efforts to reclaim our mandate will be successful. Be strong and prayerful. I did lost me. That's very fucked up. Be strong and prayerful. By the grace of God, we remain calm. Our mandate, I will reclaim our mandate and deliver the change that the people deserve. He concluded. Now pray tire. We join and pray at yourself. See, this one don't like cold. Cold kills me.
The first batch is 25. How solid is the state financially to ensure that none of them will be abandoned?
We put our priority right. We first of all, we engineer our finances. It will be slow in gestation because people are not, naturally will not respond to new creative method of financing. But this is what, this is an innovation, and equally the standard of this building that we're bringing is another pace-setting program for those schools. The funding is not there to take everything in one go, but by managing a good cash management method, we are not going to hold nobody, and we are not going to abandon no project.
Your Excellency, sir, a project like this has to be sustained by teachers who can actually face the challenge. Do you plan to train your teachers initially to standard education and
we will continue to upgrade the teacher training program. Equally, we are going to hire more teachers. Okay, those who are on temporary appointments will be converted to have job security. This is part of the government program. Put the teacher and the people first. Equally, we will have training the trainers program in information technology. I don't want to give any credential to whatever they are saying. It doesn't distract from the fact that I was at the convention. I was invited properly, and have an honored guest position. So who are they that I need to prove anything to them? I was there. And what's their business? Is that about the high unemployment in this country? Is that about lack of food on the tables and the kitchen of the poor? Is that about electricity that they cannot even properly privatize, blackmailing the honorable minister and forcing somebody to resign because they want to turn it to family patrimony? Is that, the cause of infrastructure that is lacking in this country? Is that, shouldn't we even share knowledge, acquire knowledge, to really understand, what a nation needs?
How prepared are you for next month's election in those states?
We are very, very prepared. The candidates working hard, the party is working very hard, all our structure are in place. And as long as the election is well monitored, policed, and controlled, we are very sure of victory. Study the anthropology of it. Where are we? No. Political power is not going to be served in a restaurant. It's not served in a la carte. It's what we are doing. It's being determined to do it. At all costs, fight for it, grab it, snatch it,
Yes, sir.
and run with it.
Yes, sir. Jagaban. Jagaban.
The country is going through a very strong phase of reform. And this reform is taking a very bold and hard decision. For example, you might be hearing from home now in the last few days about fuel prices. But can we help it? Can we develop? You use their good roads, say, You see electricity being constant. You see water supply being constant and running. What is the critical path to get us there? If we cannot take hard, painful decisions
to pave the way. Now is to provide the leadership that is necessary, and I'm committed to that. It's not all about politics. If you are afraid of taking the hard decision when it is time to do it, you probably will not be able to build a national consensus any day, anytime.
National consensus. Sanusi has reportedly lamented over the handling of reform by the government, but said it won't help them. However, the federal government said in part, its reaction, it is deeply disappointing that reforms widely recognized as essential by global experts, including by Emir Sanusi himself, are now being subtly condemned by him because of shifting loyalty. The federal government, though, suggested that Sanusi outbursts may be in pursuit of his personal interests. The information minister said, "We acknowledge that Sanusi are in need, and indeed any Nigerian has the inalienable right to express their opinions." I like that. Yes, please like, share, subscribe. Listen to this. Northern minority group loud Tinubu on tax reform bill. I talk about the governors have came out, and I said earlier on, who will be the next people? Northern senator, I mean northern traditional rulers. So we can see, let me read this. Here, the Northern Minority Alliance for Balanced Leadership, I call her normal, has declared support for President Bola Tinubu, lauded the initiative in the tax reform bill, and urged the legislature to expedite their passage to strengthen fiscal stability and economic revitalization. The group, in a communique issued on Thursday at the end of its two-day retreat held in Jos Plateau State, insists the reform will close revenue gaps and foster a business-friendly environment and boost Nigerian economic recovery effort. The document signed by Ibrahim Bono, am I from Borno now? Ibrahim Bono Yusuf, Daniel Donatus, Donatus, Daniel Donatus Adamu, no, say Ibrahim Bono, Yusuf Daniel, Donatus Adamu, Johanna Bonnet, Ari Galadima, Ashley Sampson, Jaja Waziri, Saleh Zaman, Irene Anthony, and others also declared support for President Tinubu ahead of 2027. Malam Sanusi Yakaswa. The communique reads in part, the Northern Minority Alliance for Balanced Leadership, NOMA, is a coalition representing ethnic minority from the northern state of Nigeria. The group is vested with the responsibility of uniting minority and minority interest in Nigeria. I'll go start my own. I'll make pass at our chairman. And I pursued inclusiveness, balance, leadership, and national development. We held our inaugural meeting and retreat in Jos, Plateau State, from 15 to 16 January 2025. The retreat was attended by leaders and representatives of various groups and interests from 19 northern states and FCT. After 2 days of extensive deliberation, we arrived at the following resolution that we, the minority ethnic groups, form the majority in the northern Nigeria. Okay, now. And going forward, we will tell our story by ourselves. I like that energy. That's what I'm talking about. And not allow other groups to paint us in opinion that serve their individual interests. Oriakata Shatarabubu Moshita Lataka. Who sponsored that retreat first? Let's start from there. We commend President Bola Tinubu renewed hope agenda, which has pivotal in repositioning Nigeria to be a prime global investment destination. I thought I said, who sponsored that? The administration emphasis on democracy development, demographic, and diaspora engagement has brought tangible economic and development gains that are fostering national growth, stability, and inclusion. How much did this sponsor this? What was this kind of event home? We applaud the administration proposed tax reform aimed at streamlining tax process, closing revenue gaps, and fostering a business-friendly environment. This bill currently before the National Assembly represents a wait. Why everybody keeps saying the bill before now? Why are they saying it out loud? Huh? Something's not right there. Why are they saying it? I don't know for like three places, three different people, but they are using that same phrase. Huh? Are they? Well, not true. That's not 15. Might be the deadline for the bill to pass. I mean, not February. I see. Anyway, I shall find out soon. We urge the legislature to expedite their passage to strengthen physical stability and economic revitalization. The group acknowledged that President Tinubu's administration has demonstrated an unprecedented commitment to the inclusive government, particularly by giving northern minority a seat at the table of policy making. Who be that? Nah, uh, Secretary to the Federation, I know they claim to. We are deeply grateful for the support for the appointment of qualified and credible individuals from our community. This appointment marks a significant shift from the historical marginalization and experience under previous administration. President Tinubu leadership has exemplary in promoting unity and bringing ethnic regional divides. His administration reflects a genuine commitment to fostering a united Nigeria where every citizen feels seen. Daily Farity would disagree with you. Would say, we ain't citizens yet. We gotta be citizens first before we can move to that next level. But I got it. I got a point. His administration reflects a genuine commitment to fostering a united Nigeria where every citizen feels seen, heard, and represented. This approach is critical to maintaining peace and stability in our diverse nation. Okay, another minority. Which one again? Governors, check. Another minority, check. Which other group again goes to come out? Let me see. Which other group they are there? When I say this, or the bill must pass. Pum 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 pim pum pim pum pum. I see. Read this piece by let's see this man named again. Olufasa. Olufasas. Obi is right to speak truth to power. APC is wrong to impair him by Olufasas. Obi dey go arrest Sanusi for speaking using at their friends, they don't do anything. Everyone is familiar with the famous saying, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. That saying attributed to Edom Bond is as relevant to governance as it is to other human endeavor. Democracy, good governance are dead in many countries. In any countries without strong and probing opposition political party, a fierce and fearless press, and a vibrant, no-nonsense civil society. Unfortunately, the guardrail are paralyzed in Nigeria. Survival instincts, narrow self-interest, and other primordial consideration prevents people, including otherwise respected leaders of society, from speaking truth to power. The Bible says in Isaiah 5:20, woe to those who call evil good and good evil. Sadly, Nigeria is suffered with too many people who call evil good and good evil. Therefore, it is imperative that the few who are willing to put their heads about the parrot and speak truth to power, as these columns seek always to do, are commended rather than vilified, threatened, or silenced. That's why every patriot and well-meaning Nigerian should unreservedly condemn the appalling and abdinable vituperation of Felix Moka, the National Public Secretary of the Union Progressive Party, who currently so dearly threatened Peter Obi, the Labour Party candidate in the 2023 presidential race, for daring to ventilate the well-known failure of the APC led Tinubu administration in his New Year's speech. Rattled by Obi's message, Moka said on Arise TV, Obi has crossed the line so many times, adding ominously whatever he has come to him, he should manage it. After Obi said that Moka inciting comment heard led to threats against his life and family, The APC chieftain denied threatening Obi's life, saying half-wittingly he who alleged must not prove really. Whose intelligence was he insulting? Whatever he has coming to him, he should manage it. It is dog whistle, an inflammatory comment that put Obi in harm's way. Elsewhere, its civilized society, the police will invite Moka for questioning. But how exactly did Peter Obi cross the line with the New Year message? I read the message. It's evidence-based and factual, assuming unassailable statistics to expose the failure of the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Nigeria rudderless and out-of-touch president. In several interventions in his column, I said what Obi said in his message. So the only line Obi crossed was telling Tinubu and his party APC what they did want to hear. They got a vessel all the way from UK, but it is in law, so it should be in politics. So it should be. That's what he said. So, but it's not like that. Telling the truth can never be defamatory for across the line. However unworthy the motive, as the Oxford English law says. Besides, it is not Obi's duty as a leading opposition politician to make Tinubu and his government feel comfortable. Rather, it is his duty to hold their feet to the fire, whatever the political move. That's the role of political opposition is genuinely functional. hmm Don't try for today. Let's come back later.